There we go. We are rolling. What's going on, guys? Welcome in. Take a seat, get comfortable. Hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic today. It's great to see you all. So, on today's video, we're going to be checking out a band called Chest Crush, and we're going to be checking out their new single called Grudge. So, a little bit of backstory on this band. They were on my list. Oops. Ignore that. That was TikTok. They were on my list. I saw that they'd released Grudge, and I thought, all right, let's see what this is about. And I went and listened to their album. Obviously, skipping the track Grudge. There's no way I don't even know. VDELYGMIA. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm not even going to try and say that. So I listened to that. And I thought it was fucking great. It was different, very different from what I usually listen to. It's a mix of very, very stripped back. I guess you could maybe call it second wave black metal. So you're going back quite so not black metal that sounds like speed metal, and not black metal that started to put like orchestral elements and like, you know, violins and keyboards and all that in, kind of like just black metal that's mayhem type stuff. Basically, I'm not the biggest black metal fan, so I'm not sure of all the bands, but I think it's old school, but not too old school, basically. So I checked that out, and I loved it. I really, really liked it. It's a combination of that style of black metal, which I just mentioned, and kind of sludgy, crusty, doomy type stuff. It's a really, really nice mix between the two. But the overall feeling that I got off that album was just how overwhelmingly black the whole thing was. The whole thing was blackened. The intro song, The Digester, was had some of the most unsettling violin playing I've ever heard in my life. I mean, it really, really was. It conjured up a scene from a horror movie where some kind of beast is lurching through a corridor, and that's the violin music that was playing over the top. Really, really, really unsettling. There's nothing core about this album. There's nothing core about this band unless the Grudge is gonna have some djent breakdowns in it or something, but I would be fucking astonished if it does. There's no core shit here. There's no slammy vocals. There's no kind of like high-pitched dissonance guitars. There's no breakdowns, nothing like that. This is about, like I said, this is one of the most blackened things I've ever heard in my life. Even the doomy parts, it sounds like doom to me, even they're quite blackened as well, just because of how it's mixed and all that type of stuff. I had a great, fucking really, really good time listening to it. Really, really good time. So now we're gonna check out Grudge. So, without further ado, let's move this over here. Let's put that there. Okay, Chest Crush, Grudge. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay, what we got going on? Oh man, I need to wash my ears out with soap after hearing that. Okay, Chest Crush, Grudge. That was nasty. That was really, really fucking nasty. That was exactly what I expected. Exactly what I expected that to sound like. That was definitely stompier than the rest of their stuff. There was a few. I mean, when I say stompier, I mean like it was slightly more riff heavy than the rest of their tracks. I think it's Skull Crush, off their album, which I strongly recommend you guys go and check out. I think it was Skull Crush. That's probably the most kind of like riff heavy, stompy, bouncy track you could possibly that you'll get out of this band. They really embraced like the doom vibes on that track. So this one was slightly less fast. A little bit more riff heavy, but predominantly that was just pure black metal from start to finish. So a couple of things about black metal. Those vocals, they're not my favorite. So this is my thoughts on a band called Gorebag, which I've been supporting since I started doing this. So it's been over a year since I've been promoting Gorebag stuff. I really like Gorebag, but the kind of gore grind, porno grind, whatever, like slammy style vocals, that you can just really can't understand, like any of the fucking lyrics or anything like that. They're not my favorite, but I can still appreciate them. I can still appreciate them if they're varied, if they're performed well, if they fit the music and all that type of stuff, mixed well and all that type of stuff. That's how I feel about the vocals on that. They're not my favorite. I don't think they're bad. One thing that puts me off from listening to black metal, now to be fair, I haven't listened to that much black metal. I went back and listened to some bands, but one of the things that puts me off is the vocals, and it's not so much the style; it's actually just the fact that I think they sound absolutely terrible. There's some I like stripped back music. I think there's a place for that. Some stuff that's very digitalized and highly produced and very polished. That's totally cool. There's a place for that. There's also a place for really stripped back shit as well. But stripped back doesn't have to mean low quality. It doesn't have to mean almost unlistenable. And there's some bands, I think there's a band called The Shining, or possibly The Shining, where it sounded like the vocalist was outside of the recording studio screaming, but also running past the microphone. It was just awful, really terrible. That's not the case with Chest Crush. They were well performed, they were well mixed. It was still nice and raw, still nice and visceral. It went really well with the music. So yeah, not my favorite vocal style in the world, but I could definitely appreciate it. And there was those other vocals there which were almost they were almost clean vocals, weren't they? You could less shrieked and more like more kind of like clean style. Clean. Dug the hell out of them. I thought they were really cool. They definitely stood out. I love the blast beats. I love the blast beats that are used in black metal. Again, I'm not a musician. I've said that about 100 times on this channel. I don't know what they're doing to make the blast beats sound like that, but I love the way the blast beats work with the guitars. I love that feedback as well. That's very typical of black metal. When it's not pinch harmonics, it's not string bends, like all the way down like the fretboard or up the fretboard, down up. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's literal just guitar feedback, which I think is really cool, and I would actually like to see a lot more black and deathcore bands incorporate that, because I think that works really well. I loved that. I really did. Really genuinely enjoyed that, and that's coming from someone who really isn't the biggest black metal fan. That was good shit. That was really good shit. Yeah. I am a fan. I'm a very big fan of Chest Crush. I was expecting to like that, and because given the quality of the given the quality of the album that I listened to, which I was actually spent my morning listening to as well. So, as per usual, links to the band's social media profiles, Spotify's, Bandcamp's, Facebook's, Instagrams, all that type of shit will be down below. You guys know the routine by now. Once the video's finished, please remember to scroll down, click on each one of those links where there's an option to share, hit that share button, hit the bell for notifications, like, comment, subscribe, just do all that type of stuff. Please support these guys because I definitely want to hear more from these guys, and if we encourage them, they'll continue to make more music and so on and so forth. Positive feedback loop. So please remember to do all of that shit. So one more time, Chest Crush, Grudge, really fucking cool shit. Loved every second of it. Thank you very much for joining me. Always a pleasure. Love you all very much, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.